Hello and welcome to Hacklab Solutions' first Safety Roundtable. A topic of discussion today is getting safety ready for Viksit Bharat 2047. As India moves towards the vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047, safety must become a foundational pillar of growth. Whether in manufacturing, infrastructure, mobility, or energy, our progress must be safe, sustainable, and future ready. India has adopted global safety frameworks and improved safety standards over the years. However, important questions remain. Are we aligned with our scale of growth? Are we integrating technology effectively? Are we building a strong safety culture rooted in accountability and leadership? Today's conversation is about connecting the past, understanding the present, and shaping a stronger safety ecosystem for the future. Today, I am honored to be joined by an outstanding panel of leaders. We have with us Dr. Srinivas Uppala, a road safety expert, certified road traffic crash investigator, and former Deputy Transport Commissioner of Telangana. His experience in road safety systems and advocacy brings critical insight into one of India's most pressing public safety challenges. We also have with us today Mr. Pranav Kumar Goswami, Deputy Director of Industrial Safety and Health at the Labour Ministry, Government of Delhi. With over 20 years of experience in occupational safety enforcement, audits, and OSH management systems, he brings a strong regulatory and implementation perspective. Furthermore, joining us is Mr. Anil Gopinath, an experienced occupational health and safety consultant and trainer with more than 32 years in safety leadership. His career spans airfield safety and fire and rescue operations in the Indian Air Force, services with the United Nations and international HSC consultancy, giving him deep operational expertise in risk management and emergency preparedness. And finally, we have with us Mr. Narayanan Subramaniam, a deep tech systems architect working across sustainability, green mobility, energy, and AI-driven industrial systems. His experience in building and scaling mission-critical technology systems provide a future-focused lens on how innovation can transform safety at scale. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today and giving this time.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
Okay, so yes, sir. So today's format will be an open-ended and conversational. I will pose broad questions to the panel, inviting each of them to share their perspective and build on the discussion as it evolves. With that in mind, let us begin our conversation on getting safety ready for Viksit Bharat. So let me start with a very basic question. As we begin our conversation, let me start by asking, how did each one of you get into the safety industry? So, Anil sir, can we start with you?
For me, it was not my choice, it was destiny. Because when I applied for the Air Force and got through the entrance examination, and I was selected in airfield operations, airfield safety operations. Then from there, I could understand what is safety operations in the aviation sector and etc. And I was building up my career over that. So it was not my choice actually, but I just happened. But then I loved the profession because of some certain personal experiences of loss. And then I thought, yes, this is something I can take close to my heart, because end of the day, we are going to save people's lives, which is much, much important than anything else. So that's how I prolonged my association in this field.
Okay. So may I ask Srinivas sir, how did you get into the safety industry?
Yeah. Once again, good evening all. When I joined in transport department as an assistant motor vehicle inspector, I was posted at Adilabad, that is Andhra Maharashtra border. Every week or fortnight, a farmer used to approach us to get a compensation from the truck owners or drivers which hit their cattle. So this was going on 2-3 months like that. Then I spoke to the sarpanch, local sarpanch, that village sarpanch, and organized a a road safety session in which I explained the stopping distance. The vehicle cannot stop immediately, right? I explained the stopping distance, etc. Then from that 6 months there was no accident because they were careful about their cattle and they didn't leave on the road. So from that onwards, I started that something education will improve the road safety situation. I thought then I started road safety education.
Okay, great. So may I come to Narayanan sir? Sir, your
Yeah,
story.
I think thinking about safety has been there for a long time. Um, Although my career is in tech, a lot of my passion has been in aviation and space. So I think if you ask my friends and colleagues, I'm just an avid air crash investigator, as many experts are, and I'm fortunate to have pilots as neighbors for the last 25 years, right? So I think it's safety culture builds in there, and then from a professional standpoint, I've been associated with the electric mobility space for nearly 9 years. And I think as part of delivering solutions there, safety definitely has become even more paramount, right? Even small incidences can create significant challenges. And the final thing is, with that awareness built in, when we look all around in our daily life, not just in the products that we build or the services that we provide, I think safety is a major issue that I personally see in personal lives itself when we look all around. We'll probably talk about that a little more later on, but so this is how safety kind of impacts me on all dimensions.
Okay. So Pranav sir, finally your
Yeah,
story.
for me, I never thought about working in the field of safety till my 10th years of career working in private organizations. I started my career with National Dairy Development Board, and I got the opportunity to work with Dr. Varghese Korean as a trainee engineer. And then I subsequently involved in various erection, commissioning, and production, pharmaceutical, cosmetics like this. And I met during my period in erection of one solvent extraction plant, there was a big accident where 4 people died. Even then, also, I was not thinking I'll be safety. Accidentally, when I was working in Assam, Guwahati, so my selection was done through UPSC to the Ministry of Labour, Government of India, DG Firstly, which is in Mumbai, who is a parliamentary arm for making acts and rule for occupational safety and health for India. But I never thought to join government because at that time the salary difference was very high in private and government. But something happened to my life. Means I was working in Guwahati, Assam at that time. That Ulfa was active, and I was threatened to kidnap my child. So ultimately, I took a decision overnight to switch to government and join DG Firstly. After joining this firstly, I was involved in safety. I have come to know about the safety and the various occupational safety and health legislation, and I deeply involved in making rules. Then I was involved in various studies, auditing in various all over throughout India. Then interest developed. Then I got the opportunity to do masters in occupational safety from International Labour Organization IETC ILO Turin in the scholarship of ILO, then my interest on safety and health growing more and more. And finally, again through UPSC, I joined the enforcement part in Government of Delhi. Now I think that I have completed the cycle, working at the workplace in very hazardous, dangerous condition, then making rules, involving in making rules and amendment of rules, and finally enforcing those rules. So now I'm enjoying every part of safety and health legislation as well as the implications and the impact in society and making a workplace safety culture. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. That's an amazing start. So I always think that to make any decisions for the future, we need to understand the past. So first of all, the question which I want to start with is when you look at India's safety journey over the last 20, 30 years, what honestly makes you feel proud and what are the areas which still frustrates you? So anyone would like to start?
Okay, that's a question I was expecting also. So I should come out. See, I joined this profession in the year 1992. That time when I used to tell people that I am in safety, nobody even understands what side of it or what profession it is. But down the line, I am seeing there is a lot of development which has happened in this last 30 years. If you look at the Indian context, at least people are now understanding the value of safety, the organizations, the key leaders, decision makers, understanding, and they are implementing, maybe due to client pressure, maybe due to economic reasons. But if you ask us the challenges or the other part is, see, India, as we are talking about Viksit Bharat, I have been doing a research kind of thing previous week. You know, we are the first country in the world to land in the south pole of the moon.
Right.
Think about the advancement we have made in science and technology. We are the fourth to land on the moon itself. And today, we are the fourth largest economy in the world. See the advancement that we have made in science and technology and the overall economy. But when we look at the safety standards, it's all 1960s. If you look at I'm precisely talking about the technical standards which are developed by Bureau of Indian Standards. For example, if you look at the scaffolding is a very, I'm directly dealing with a lot of industries, construction, aviation, etc. Scaffolding is a big pain over India because our standards on scaffolding, for example, 3696, IS 3696, Part 1-2, and IS 4014, Part 1-2, these are all very, very old standards. I think, if I'm not wrong, 1960s, 80s, which not at all matching to the present requirement of the tubular scaffolding, even though, yes, tubular standards are there. But so we are now depending on OSHA standards or the BSEN standards when we look at the safety standards. So this is one area where, even though I am so happy to see that Code of Occupational Health and Safety 2020 has come up, which again states that standards are going to be developed. See, you have an act, but you also need a standard to back up that act. So the authorities are here. That's why I put up this point straight across, that our development in the other area like science and technology or maybe economic development should equally match with our safety standards. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned about India's technology advancement. So I want to bring in here Narayanan sir, who is a deep tech expert and he is very passionate about space. So sir, this question, even I was thinking, we have made so many good, we have landed on the moon, we have so much technology, we have so much mind, but our roads still have potholes. So what do you think about it?
So I don't know if you can see the background on my wall. Okay. So you will see 3 photos there. Okay. One is of, since you talked of moon, Neil Armstrong. Okay. The middle photo is that of Space Shuttle Challenger, which blew up in 1986 in January due to ignoring a lot of safety concerns. Okay. And the third one here on the extreme left or right, whichever way you look at it, is of the famous incident of Apollo 13. Again, safety issues leading to, somehow miraculous return of the crew. Why these 3 pictures are there every day is to remind me professionally, okay, that please think about safety in product development. Okay. So we are looking at the progress that we are making. India is going to be sending man missions at least to low Earth orbit. Safety is going to become absolutely critical. You look in product development everywhere, whether it's in the electric vehicle space, in manufacturing space, and so on. As we develop products, safety should not become an afterthought of product development. That is, somebody in testing or validation is testing against the various standards. What I find missing is also engineers as part of their design and profession, especially in software, tech, and so on, because today everything is automated through advanced sensors. You can measure a lot of things, right? So that measurement should also include safety aspects of various product deployments and how to give high priority towards processing such sensorial inputs to make sure that the system is safe for deployment during operations and during maintenance and so on and so forth, right? So as we go forward in product development, okay, it's very important that we also cross pollinate and train engineers. I mean, we have experts here in various fields who understand standards. This knowledge needs to be translated into product development engineers, be it software and not just hardware guys or systems guys, right? Because everything is coming through AI, sensors, processing, and so on. There's digitization of all information, right? So safety can begin much more earlier proactively. I mean, we have a lot of tools in industry for proactive measurement, crack, failure analysis, and so on. This needs to be extended all over the place. I mean, coming to potholes and things like that, I think there are enough standards on how to build roads, how we are transporting children on two-wheelers. Adults are wearing helmet, but the child has no helmet, right? We are talking about a regular mobility and transportation with sunroof. Parents are driving the car, the child is poking the head through the sunroof, right? I mean, safety needs to be culture. Okay. I think, and people need to be receptive to culture and these changes, personal life as well as in product development to incorporate and bring in experts and work together collectively.
Okay, wonderful. So now we have two perspectives and technology understanding. So I would like to go to Srinivas sir. Sir, you have a long experience in the road safety domain. Can you share with us, have you seen any change in the last 20 years? You're muted.
By seeing statistics, I didn't see any improvement because since 1997, the toll is increasing. The toll is increasing. We have around 77,000 deaths in 1997. Come to 2023, it is 1,78,000. If we compare with the other countries where they are coming down and reducing at least 50% of earlier deaths, like Switzerland, etc., Netherlands, Switzerland, and so many countries, they came down. Of course, the infrastructure has improved and vehicle technology has improved, but where we are lagging is behavioral aspects of road users. So many violations, not following rules, and not following safety tips, and finally, these are all linked to the how they are getting the driving licenses. You know? Of course, I worked in transport department, but it is very difficult to separate that system. Once the individual will not change, because I tried so many types, because I never used to allow the agents inside my premises of the office, but the applicants used to approach outside. We cannot avoid that. Only thing, when the applicant changes his mindset and he will come prepared to the office, and then only we can avoid the middlemen, and they will prepare with all the rules and regulations. They will know. Then only they will follow the rules that may create safety environment. Another thing is, so many conferences are happening, so many resolutions are happening, so many amendments are happening. But what is the effect at the ground level? Are we implementing in true spirit? Because in 2019, I hope motor vehicle amendment got major changes. Still, so many states, they have not implemented the penalties. Not only penalties, so many features of the 2019 amendment. So these are all implementation difficulties are there unless the government takes a serious on this, because we have so many organizations, right from Supreme Court Committee, what not, so many organizations are there on road safety, but still the ground level happening is not getting any result. Only maybe sometimes we are seeing that it is getting reduced, but it is not sustainable reducement. Only the particular period, maybe because of the officer present there, the actions taken by that officer, like enforcement, etc. Maybe reducing in that area. We have a better example in Tamil Nadu. They have manipulated the statistics to show the accidents are reducing. It is unfortunate to see that.
Okay.
Later they came to know that something is happened, and then they are recollected and correcting the statistics. These are all manipulations are also going in India. So what I uh, expect is there should be an authority, and that authority should be maintained by a well knowledgeable person in this field, because every time what happening, we will bring a senior bureaucrat to the chair. He will depend on others, and finally the decision taken by to implement anything is in our system there are so many influencers. This should not happen. That should be independent authority which can implement all these uh, uh, act provisions across the India, not only in a single state. Then only we can improve the situation. Another thing is we have to implement some features which are existing in other countries. Maybe uh, like Vision Zero policy in Sweden, like that now. Vision Zero has gone now. Decade of second decade of road safety action is going on 2021 to 21 to 30. Sorry, 2021 to 30. First decade was 2011 to 20. So many actions are there. Out of them, the important actions are 12 targets are there. Two related to road safety management, two related to roads, existing and previous roads, and one related to safer vehicles, six related to safer road users, and one related to post crash response. You see, importance to the safer road users is six targets are there for the road users. They are one is 50%. Sorry, 100%, 50% vehicle traveling is posted speed limit. Speed limit should be followed by at least 50% of the vehicles, and helmet usage 100%, and seat belt usage is 100%, and 50% should be reduced the drunken driving, and mobile users should be reduced at least 100%, and finally the fatigue, driving with the fatigueness should be reduced. And these are all six is very important. These are all belongs to human beings only, road user behavior. So once we implement at least these 12 road safety targets at the full level and with true spirit, then definitely the road deaths will reduce, and everybody will reach their safer destinations. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Yes. So, Pranav sir, coming to you, you have heard various details. How would you like to
Yeah,
share
if
your
we see
experience?
the evolution of occupational safety and health in India, that throughout various age of classical age, that industrial revolution, and to till post independent, that in India it was started by British after the occupational problems occurred in uh, jute mills in Calcutta and uh, textiles in Mumbai started. And first Factories Act was enacted in 1881 in British period. And subsequently after independence, we have got this Factories Act 1948. But till now, it's not the preventive culture. We are doing on a reactive mode. We are not working on a preventive mode till now. And construction activities has come to picture only after 1996 Act was passed, and it started slowly after 2000, year 2000 only. And only 3 4 sectors we are having occupational safety and health, that is at till now, that is in factories and building and construction and docks and mines. And now fortunately that already it was discussed by Anilji also, said that OSCODE, yes, I am also one part of making this process of making occupational safety and health working condition 2020. So we have included another 9 sectors in this field, occupational safety and health legislations. They are now totaling, it is 13 sectors. So if we go to the international standards level, we are unable to comply with various ratification of occupational safety and health conventions like 187, 155, when these are the two landmark conventions of ILO. Because of the total workforce is around 10 to 15% right now under the present legislations, and all unorganized sectors are being out of the umbrella of occupational safety and health. We are unable to ratify these conventions. But hope by adding these another 9 legislations under OSCODE 2020, we will be able to reach up to about around 70% population of workforce, including few plantations, although agriculture is not included, transport worker, sales and promotion worker, contract workers, and BD cigar workers. A large population we will be able to include under the occupational safety and health legislation. But the mindset that rightly um, Narayanan Sab said that safety culture development is not in our blood, it should be in our DNA. Until and unless we develop the ownership of safety, everyone has to develop the ownership of safety and accountability. We cannot achieve the safety culture in India. While you are talking about Viksit Bharat, without a sustainable safety culture, there is no meaning of any Viksit Bharat. Because if safety is not sustainable in any country, so automatically it will be a for short-term basis. So along with the other economic development, we have to have the sustainable safety culture in our country, and that should be preventive mode, not in a reactive mode. Thank you.
Okay,
Very true.
wonderful. So that brings me to the next part of my conversation, which is I have so far done 60 plus podcast shows on safety leadership in India, and I have come across some common themes in safety. For example, people behavior needs to change. Leadership should drive safety top down. We need more skilled labor. Safety should not just be a compliance exercise, but a way of working. Now, all these things are very nice, but the question is how to do them. What systemic changes do we do today so that by 2047 we achieve a standard which is comparable to US or UK? So I would like to know your thoughts on that.
Go ahead, sir.
No, please start.
I think two things just come to mind. One which you already repeated. Safety has to be driven top down. Okay, culture has to be driven top down. That we all know. Okay. The second thing is, as people and society, are we ready to pay for safety? Okay, that is important, right? What differentiates one product from another, if I look from product standpoint, sometimes are the additional safety aspects or quality of service with regards to safety, reaction time, etc., right? Do we value safety enough to pay for it? Okay, which means then we have a cultural disposition or a mental attitude that safety is important, right? So I think, unfortunately, in commerce and business, we tend to value things only when there is some money associated with it. So are we willing to put money on the table for safety? Be it aviation, be it anything, road, helmet, whatever it is, even buying a helmet for a child. Are you willing to spend an extra 1,000 or 2,000? I don't know how much a helmet costs, right? Both the parents are wearing helmet, right? ISI helmet, but the kid doesn't have helmet. So are you willing to pay for that safety of the child or not? Right. So I think monetization is an important aspect. We should stop this jugaad culture and think of paying for value for safety in anything, whether it is brake check, whether it is maintenance, whether it is fluid levels, whether it is sensor, anything. Unless you have that, we will not change. You can have all the rules in the world, all the legislation in the world. I believe it is not enough unless we are willing to put money on the table for this seriously.
Yeah.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I have a very clear perspective when we look about how to reach to the Viksit Bharat concept. I'll put it in 3 words. One is educate, empower, and enforce. So these 3 areas are very critical. When I say education, safety is something which needs to be taught from, I think, kindergarten itself. You might have seen the kids doing emergency evacuation in a Japanese school.
Yes.
That is eye opener for all of us. Safety is not something we discuss at a board level, or of course that commitment all, but what is lacking with us, why that culture is not developing, is our education system should embed safety as a chapter, safety as a continuous education in every level, like starting from kindergarten to the lower primary, upper primary, higher, and technical. Why safety is not being taught to technical level people or the IT engineers? Why should safety only a chapter for the civil engineers and chemical engineers?
Yes.
This concept, this is a very broad concept our decision makers or our government should think about, and as early as possible bring this drastic inclusion in the whole education environment. Then only that system, that culture, what we all agree to it, it becomes a culture when everybody starts thinking the value of safety clearly. So education, and apart from the CLI, apart from the MSBT or the State Board of Technical Education, we need more empowered and authorized institutions to conduct more degrees. I'm happy that nowadays there is a BTech fire and safety separately happening and all. So education is one sector we need to focus highly to bring about this change or the renaissance for a Viksit Bharat. Now, empowerment. Coming to empowerment at the industry level, there should not be any fear for reporting. When you look at industries, I can still see there is a fear among the employees. If I report something, it will come back on me, or there is a blame game kind of thing going on. So every worker should be empowered to stop work if he finds his life is in danger and sustain the pressure of completion. They should have some toll-free numbers to report or something, what we see in the Western countries. Empowerment. And second most drastic and radical change needs to happen is at least 75 to 80% of the organization still even today thinks that safety is the responsibility of safety department. Something go wrong, they are straight away only, okay, see, when we talk about responsibility, we all say safety is everybody's responsibility. But when it comes to accountability, the real accountable people are not able to see. Safety officers, generally, safety department is an advisory department. It's an advisory role. Decisions are taken by the task owners. So the accountability is with the line, the task owners who understand the nitty-gritty of the task. So the combination of both the technical knowledge plus the safety knowledge, we achieve the safety standards. So there should be a phenomenal change among the corporates, among the industries, to look in a different way. It's not only, it's not only the safety department which owns the safety of the, it's mainly the execution team or the design engineers or the design team, the execution team, planning team. Everybody are equally responsible and everybody should correlate. So that empowerment is done. And finally, coming to enforcement, our government, as Goswamiji was rightly saying, should change the system from reactive to proactive. If we do more inspections and more enforcement of, the compliance level will increase. So setting OSH codes, that's a good development. Substantiating that OSH code with relevant standards which are up to date, and then enforcing that standards through the right perspective, then there will be a whole lot of improvement and we can take the country to the Viksit Bharat in occupational health and safety. This is my perspective.
Thank you, sir, for sharing those three powerful words. So moving forward, sir, Arnav sir, today you're going to go next.
So whenever I'm thinking about, because I already told that I have been going through the cycle. So as per ILO, there are tripartite: government and industry and workers. And for me, it is 5 stakeholders. Government is there, workers are there, and industries. And beyond this, there are safety manufacturers, safety equipment manufacturers. And fifth is community. So if we see present scenario, yesterday I was in Alwar for giving a special address to the safety appliances manufacturers of India for business growth. So I was discussing the present threat and I was doing short analysis with them. And one was saying that in an industry they have supplied the helmet and it was approved by safety department and it was accepted by workers as well as administration department, but accounts person is saying your helmet is similar to this helmet which is costing 60 rupees in the market, and this, why are you charging 120 rupees? So this is the thing, if you are compromising these things. So I tell them that you have to make your product so visible with some specific USP, why you are specific in this case, what standards you are following. So we have to go for this. And whenever we are doing a post-mortem of these sectors, say what government we are doing, what workers unions are doing, and what these industries are doing, because I can see very closely all these 3 sectors, there's a big gap and non-coordination among these 3 segments. Say when the workers unions are for the benefit of worker for making the workplace safe and healthier, but unfortunately they are demanding on compensations only rather than making the workplace safer after making an accident. And that the advantage is taken by the industrialist. They are trying to get rid of investing, rightly said my previous speaker, that investment in safety is a cost for them, not the investment. It should be connected to the productivity. So now that international culture has developed, that safety is nothing but productivity. And we can prove it by analyzing the cost of an accident. The cost of an accident is just not the treatment cost or these compensation cost. There are hidden elements. We can prove it. The transportation, what time downtime of the employee of the entire organization for 1 hour, 2 hour, how much cost it is going for legal consultancy, how much government officials are visiting to inspect and investigate, and how many people are involved in that, how many sitting you are going for legal this thing. A lot of cost can be calculated and it can be proved that safety investment is not an cost, it is an productivity. So that is one point for the industrialist regarding the investment. Secondly, the training workers unions and workers are to be trained accordingly, and that training is this specific to the standards that already Narayanan sir said the standards. Yes, now as per the OSCODE, we are making a standard national level. Initially, there are many standards are made in various state level. And this time, OSCODE, most of the 99% standards are being framed by given by central government. So it will give a uniformity throughout the country. And regarding the following the standards, we have to have this training institute. Rightly says Gopinath sir that we are not having certified training institute. I was in CLI, Central Labor Institute. There is big traffic for AFIH course or advanced diploma in industry and safety. So we have to make the empowerment of various private organizations on PPP model. So in our rule making, we have already included this. This director of industrial safety and health, that factory inspectorate is having any approval process of any training. So I don't have any idea. Delhi is not there, UP not there, Haryana I know not there. I think Maharashtra. So they should give a approval of some training institute so that in private they can run these various training of various skill for making a skilled worker. You can say there are various provisions in Act, say in BOCW Act, construction, the no scaffold should be utilized without a supervision of a certified supervisor. Who is certified supervisor? Who is going to give him certification? No one is there. There are audit in MAH installation. MAH installation, there is a mandatory audit of every 1 year. But who is going to do audit? There is no authority to give a certified auditor. Like 25 years back, this is firstly given the certification to auditors. Now there is no auditors. But now, being an opportunity, getting the opportunity, we in our state rule, we are incorporating is certification of various private agencies for these training programs also. So this will give a opportunity to skill development as well as employment generation also of this thing. One most important point, you will support me, the enforcement officials. They are just engineers or doctor. They are not having any background of occupational safety and health. It is not mandatory. For a safety officer, it is mandatory in an industry. But who is enforcing the law, who should know each and everything about the act, that qualification is missing in central act. No state is having any inspector where this minimum requirement is engineering as well as along with the diploma in safety and health. That is not there. So this is one big gap. It means you are asking a normal doctor to do a surgery of a surgeon. So it is like that only. And the course, really the course that safety related course like disasters chapters are there, it should be in schools also, so that the children can get the idea what is occupational safety and health related matters. So these are the various things. When if we touch all these areas, workers as government officers capacity building, and as well as these industries motivation. Say another point is investment. We can government may facilitate by giving some subsidies in investment in safety matter, safety equipments and safety provisions. So these may be the incentive for them for making a motivation factor. And regarding the community surrounding, there is a need to make aware the community also, and accountability to be fixed to them also. There are hazardous industries are installed out of the city, but population is going after few years. Again, clusters of populations are gathering around the industry. Like in most of the oil industries, Indian Oil, BPCL, their installations are very far away from the city. But after 5 years, the population is entirely occupied around the plant. So it became a disaster in case of some emergency. It became a big disaster. So these type of issues we should address, And in OSCODE, we are trying to cover a few, not all. So let's see how it moves. Thank you.
Right, so yes. So I was just thinking that the accident of Air India aircraft, which happened last year, the airport was right in the middle of the surrounding area, and everyone was living there, and it crashed on the hostel of a college. So that was a big disaster. Yeah. So okay, moving to Srinivas sir. Sir, your thoughts on this?
Yeah. First, one question to all of us: do we have a strategy for road safety in India? No, because we don't have a national strategy or state strategy, etc. To develop a strategy, we need some statistics. You know, our statistics, I already told you, because there are some manipulations, and these statistics are not based on scientific investigation of an accident. That's why we see around 60% road accidents are because of overspeeding. Maybe overspeeding, but there may be some other uh, elements also in that. And 2% drunken driving. Drunken driving, it should be more than 2%. Definitely, I will make a challenge if every fatal accident is uh, inspected rightly. It will go up to 10 to 20% drunken driving. So we need a good strategy in that, how we will go the implementation of law, how we will go road engineering, because our road safety targets says 50% of existing roads should be, by 2030, existing roads should be at least 3-star rating. There is a star rating for each road and each road user, that will be given by some organizations. That should be done by 2030, existing 50% of roads. For all new roads, it should be 100%. But unfortunately, there is so many standards. Everybody will make DPRs. Government is spending so money on DPRs. Still, the new roads also are not 100% uh, safer roads. So this should be done immediately. And coming to the vehicles, technology is developing a lot, and so many auto vehicles are coming, so many auto features which will avoid an accident. They have already come into our Indian market, and there is a lot of improvement in vehicle technology, but still the user who is using that vehicle should change his behavior. And coming to the uh, human factors, that enforcement should be improved. Enforcement means, once again enforcement comes, then again corruption comes into our mind. So we need to use technology, humanless enforcement with cameras. There are so many technologies in the world which can uh, capture at least 10 to 12 offenses by camera, which other countries are using. That technology can be adapted here. Unfortunately, every toll road should be equipped with cameras, but practically none. So, among all these points, we need to bring in a strategy and make responsible. Suppose if anything happens, who will be responsible for that crash or something? And not only direct driver or owner, even infrastructure related or any official related who certificate the vehicle, etc. If any, that when that we can make responsible means, if there is a scientific investigation conducted on that accident, then only it will be possible. For example, recently one fire accident happened in Andhra Pradesh, Volvo bus accident, not Volvo, that's something passenger vehicle. So the whole drama is diverted. Actually, the accident happened because of the driver is not alert, because there was a motorcycle lying on the road. Drunken rider fell on the road, and that motorcycle was not observed by this passenger vehicle driver. But around 19 to 20 vehicles passed that motorcycle, but only this driver could not see the motorcycle, and he gone over the motorcycle and it caught fire, and around 20 people or something got killed. So the investigation diverted towards the motorcycle and other things, but not whose fault is actual fault there. That should be come into picture, and that should be into the statistics. Similarly, when the statistics will be good, the investigation, the root cause should be investigated. We don't have investigation mechanism here. Unfortunately, till now we have not developed an investigation mechanism and not trained the investigation officers. Like in every road accident, the sub inspector of police is the investigating officer. We have not developed any mechanism to investigate an accident, road crash. We need to approach the site immediately, maybe in five minutes or 10 minutes, because otherwise what happens, all the skid marks will go away, and whatever the evidences are go away. Sometimes we miss the driver, we miss the bystanders who observed that accident, etc. It needs to be done in a scientific manner, and the team should reach immediately. It reach immediately means we have to provide teams in all district headquarters or all police stations. I mean, all police stations, there should be a team. How ambulance will arrive? Ambulance also is not arriving in 10 to 15 minutes, but it should be improved. But similarly, investigation teams also should arrive immediately and then take all the evidences and give a right report, so that our statistics will uh, come in a good manner. Then we can use that statistics to make our strategies. The same similar accidents should not happen anywhere in India. Like that, we have to plan. If we see that the passenger vehicle accident, after that, at least 4 to 5 bus fires happened in India, but there is not that much loss, because that accident happened in midnight. I think midnight or early in the morning, 4 o'clock, etc. Other accidents happened in various times, but the people were alert in the vehicle. They could evacuate easily, and the human loss is less. So we need to educate the people, like flight. When we board the flight, every flight, whatever, how many journeys you make, you will listen same material, right? Similarly, each bus
Right.
we should say some safety features, like availability of hammers, how to escape in emergency, and there should be the exit gate should be a design change, because in one direction it is very difficult to escape people in the vehicle. They have to jump from the vehicle. There should be like a ladder, etc. We have to make such arrangements in the vehicle. Each side there should be a ladder, so get down easily. Studied and made available to all vehicles in case of emergency. Then finally, we need to improve in this response time of ambulances, because presently the response time of ambulance is around 15 to 20 minutes, I hope more than 20 minutes. So by 20 minutes, so many lives we will lose because of the bleeding, at least. So meanwhile, we have to train some local people to arrest that bleeding. And another thing is, we have so many ambulances, but all ambulance should be come into one network. Not only government ambulances like 108, etc. Private ambulances also we should bring into one network, and this network should work throughout 24 hours. When the call receives, whichever is the nearest ambulance, that should go. And another thing is, this is not known to the public. So many ambulances are not useful for to transport the injured. They only useful for transport dead bodies, because they don't have any materials or any trained person is available in those ambulances. So all these things should be studied, and because it happens when there is a strategy, and whether we are going along the strategy or not, we have to review every time. That's why we needed complete independent authority for this that can track every time whether this is happening, these things are happening along with the strategy or not. If there is any deviation, how we can correct it and how can move forward. Whether these strategies are effective or ineffective. If ineffective, how best we can change those strategies. All these can be possible when there is a frequent reviews, etc. So I hope in future maybe it happen and it will try to reduce the number of deaths in our India. Thank you.
Amber,
Okay, sir.
if I
Yes,
could
sir.
just add two things before you move on. Very rightly pointed out. There's two things I wanted to add. One is the interdisciplinary education. I think that's a very important point, okay, at all levels. The second one is a lot of digital technology can help to address many of these problems. But the problem is in how the product is designed itself. Take, for example, the recent Beechcraft accident, right? Medical ambulance which crashed, right? You will be surprised. I was shocked when I saw the report. There is no digital flight recorder or cockpit voice recorder installed on the aircraft. Simply because some rule, I don't know what rule it is, said that below 5.7 tons, it is not required. So we will never understand now what happened to that aircraft. And there are many others operating this way. Okay. Now let us say we have digital technology. Take very simple case. You know that emergency button you have in the cab, right? That red button, right? Okay. When
Yes.
you press that, a GPRS message is supposed to go to some network operations and flag an alert. Do we know how many percentage of taxis that button itself is working and data itself is going? Okay. There is, even if you have the law, it is all there as per the law. Maybe somebody will come to inspect and say, yes, a red button is there. Okay. Is the thing working or not? Nobody knows. Like this, we have many cameras installed. Okay. Is the camera feed installed working or not? Nobody knows. Let's take cars or automotive equipment. You know, cameras are becoming cheaper, digitization is becoming cheaper. Maybe we can incentivize every automotive vehicle to have a dashboard cam, right? And subsidize that by reduction in insurance policy because you have added a safety feature, right? Just like cockpit voice recorder, digital flight recorder, when at the time of accident, if you have these things, the data captured can show whatever safety violations, not just to penalize. The problem is we need to capture this data, make it tamper proof, so that we can analyze it in an objective manner and share the learnings with everybody else. Why is aviation industry so good in safety is because whenever there is an accident report, the details of the report and the recommendations are shared openly in most cases. Then everybody can learn. Here we need the same attitude in India for chemical industry, for manufacturing, for anything, right? Capture the data, make sure the data is correct, it's not tampered with, and the findings of the data make it shareable with your peers in industry for a safety related incident so that everybody can learn and everybody can improve at the same time. This is collective safety and responsibility, and we can achieve these things if there is a will to organize this in a particular way.
Right, sir. Thank you for that suggestion. I think that makes a very good point. And to be honest, I never pressed that button, so I don't know if that works or not. So,
Especially this is for
okay.
women's or family safety, right? We don't even know whether that button works.
Yes, sir. That was that is connected to command control centers. That was sponsored by central government, but few states are not yet implemented. Only few states it implemented. That should work. It is connected to command control center, and they will track the vehicle. Once emergency button is pressed, they will track the information. Will go to the nearest police patrol.
Supporting to Mr. Narayanan, the incident of transport of hazardous chemical, you might be getting the Jaipur LPG accident.
Yes.
These are easily trackable. Even they are making this. So you know how many hazardous substance chemical we are carrying through road where public are also using. There should be alert how far other vehicles should be from that vehicle. It is not only LPG. There are a lot of vehicles like ammonia or any other very explosive that can be easily tracked, and there must be drivers should also be under control of some regulatory system. They should be regularly monitored in a particular area, like flight recording. There, it is most essential, because otherwise it is a live bomb on the road.
Yes.
Exactly.
Sir,
So
another
before we,
point which pointed out by Narayan sir, there is a equipment event data recorder should be there in vehicles. In other countries, it will be there. In the case of accident, it will give so many elements, whether the passengers wear a seat belt or not, what was the speed before the accident. All these details will be given by event data recorder. But unfortunately, in India, it is not yet implemented.
yeah, before we close, just to catch up on Goswamiji was telling about that helmet. So I just remembered one of the radical change which needs to happen at corporate level and the government level in India. Our fascination towards approving the L1 tenders in big construction projects, mega projects, we are seeing, like right now we are facing a lot of issues which is being built up in Kerala, the quality issues. The approach of L1, going to the lowest bidder, is not the safest way to approach a project. So the whole concept of selecting L1 there should be some due diligence on every contractors. At the same time, quality and safety should be given the highest priority when you are prioritizing. Then comes the economy. This radical approach, I am expecting the whole Indian corporates and government to switch over to some other very measurable and clear system where we value quality and safety beyond economics when we are awarding tenders. Otherwise, this kind of issues will keep on repeating and affect the people's lives.
We must pay for safety. Otherwise, we will have like the Boeing 737 MAX 8 crash, single sensor failure. Okay, and they expect us not to go for recertification with new software. Correct. All that created a massive safety problem, and the rest is history.
Okay, wonderful. So this was roundtable 1 of the safety with the topic of Viksit Bharat 2047. I want to finish this episode by there's one topic which really pains me, which is the value of life in India. As since childhood, I've been hearing that we don't value life that much in India as compared to other developed countries like UK or US. There was a recent accident in Greater Noida when a guy pushed his car into a pond, and he was not saved. The whole safety team was there, and they cannot save this one person. India has landed on moon, but we can't save someone in Greater Noida. I think it's not a good sign. So I think every one of us, all the corporate leaders, everyone listening, safety managers, they should think every day how to make their own life safer, and then how can they protect their neighborhood and so on, their communities. Because as they say in an aircraft, right? First, make your own seatbelt fasten, then help the other person. So I think it will take a lot of understanding, a lot of education to make changes in India. But I'm hopeful. I'm an Indian. I'm a proud Indian, and I'm sure we will get through this when we reach 2047. So thank you everyone for giving your time today and for talking on this topic.
Thanks to all the participants. Thank you.